Film Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the NBA. So y'all check this out. Well, both teams in LA gonna be in the playoffs, shooting for titles, right? I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about all the trades, right? LA got Anthony Davis a couple of weeks ago, and now the Los Angeles Clippers have gotten Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, right? So we talked a little Lakers short. Excuse me, but I'm gonna keep that in there. Check this out. The Lakers, right? I'm happy they didn't get Kawhi Leonard, right? I roll with the Lakers, of course, right? No matter what. But I didn't want them to get Kawhi Leonard. I didn't want it to be a Golden State Warrior type of thing where I'm watching Golden State Warriors not missing a game for 2.5 years or three, loving Golden State Warriors, but they got Kevin Durant after winning 7-3 games. 7-3 games is the most in the NBA history. And then to add Kevin Durant, for Kevin Durant wanting to go there, that irked me. And then they're getting Kevin Durant, and he's got two of the best shooters in history who's stretching the floor, and he can, work pretty much in isolation all the time. You can't double on a team like that. I thought it was unfair, so I couldn't go for them. So I called it my Golden State hate. And that's what it's been since Durant's been there. And so, although I would roll with the Lakers, even if they had Kawhi Leonard, I would understand other people not, because that's just too much. You got LeBron and Anthony Davis work around that. Now you got Boogie Cousins, who's recovering from injury, but it's still going to be Boogie Cousins. So you're going to have JaVale McGee doing one thing, Boogie doing the other down on the block. You got two different looks for the defense. Great. Then they mess around inside and somebody who I think is one of the most important players in the NBA, and that's Danny Green. Danny Green, I'm telling you, he plays that two position. Ain't no other guards blocking shots like him, playing defense like him. If your name's not Dwayne Wade, you haven't seen somebody blocking shots like that on the one or the two position. John Wall gets some too now. Don't get that messed up now. It's a few. But Danny Green, he's going to be tackling people. He plays excellent defense. Immaculate, impeccable, whatever word you want to say. So he's out there, and then we also know he shoots threes like a god. So they added that mix, and Rajon Rondo too. So the Lakers will be fine, right? And I think it's good. And I'm going to tell you why. And that would be by going to the Clippers. They got Kawhi Leonard, and let's not stop there, and Paul George. Hey, when we're talking this ridiculousness like, hey, the best two-way player in the game, right, these two names are going to be in your top three. The only other one that might even get in there would be Antetokounmpo. And then after that, to a lesser extent, Klay Thompson. Those are the top four, two-way players. They got both of them. So put them on the 2 and the 3. You still got Patrick Beverly in the house, right? And Shamet, who's shooting like that. You re-sign my big man, Zubac. So you got him, right? So, they're going to be fine, the Clippers. Remember this. Bottom line, you didn't get rid of Lou Williams, right? Or Harrelson. That's it. They're going to be playing for that. It's it, right? And Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, I know they compete against each other, because they know they pretty much do the same thing. They can create their own shots. The problem is facilitating for both of them. Because Paul George didn't have to facilitate too much in Oklahoma City, which is why I'm upset he came, because that's a whole different story. But I'm just saying he's going to have to, facilitate more. So is Kawhi Leonard. That's the only thing you can say about those guys. They can create their shot, and they're awesome defenders, and they have mid-range games and the three-point range. We saw that with Kawhi Leonard and with Paul George. And I just thought Paul George should have stayed with OKC because he was hurt. It was Russell Westbrook and plus 1.5. That shoulder was killing Paul George in the playoffs, and that's why. And so we'd rather say, hey, well, Russell Westbrook was the problem. Man, ain't nobody averaging no triple-double, no problem, nowhere. Okay, that's just ludicrous conversation, like everybody's getting triple-doubles or getting close to them. Russell Westbrook is a legend already, right? Just for that alone. All them triple-doubles and averaging them. So we ain't going to never hate on Russell Westbrook. And wherever he goes, I'm watching them too. It's a triple-double watch when you watch Westbrook. I know this video ain't got nothing to do with it, but I like to say it. Because everybody try to act like that's nothing, right? And that's everything, really. All that winning and stuff, it's teams and who you got and all that, right? Right? Ain't nobody winning by themselves. But when you turn on TV to watch basketball and somebody got a triple-double, don't think, hey, he got a triple-double. Well, Russell averaged one for 3 years. And we never seen that since Bigfoot footage, since way back there to Oscar Robertson. Gotta always say that. So I think Paul George should have stayed there and handled your business and won a championship with them. But it seems that we didn't, and uh, you know, you can't blame anybody for coming home. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are coming home. That's the only reason that I can let that go. Westbrook be a homeboy too. He mess around, go, but he went to LA team right now, so he ain't coming home. But at the end of the day, the Clippers will be fine. So will the Lakers. Let's make this clear when it comes to this time of the year. Me personally, as a fan of the sport, and for a long time, I understand young fans don't really care about all this trading and stuff. This is the part of y'all don't like. It irks me because as a fan, you got to reset. You was hating on this team, and then all of a sudden, the people you was hating on is on your team, right? Or vice versa. It just, excuse me, can I buy a jersey? My jersey I just bought last year don't mean nothing this year, right? You can't wear a jersey for 6 months nowadays. It's like getting a new iPhone, right? It means nothing after 3 months. You get a jersey for somebody who just moved, and he's moving next year. It's ridiculous. You can't keep up, right? So I don't know if the fans, you can't, fans are important too. We want to, develop a relationship with someone. Like for example, I ain't missing Oklahoma City games. Clippers when they had my boy Blake Griffin. Since when Blake Griffin got there, I didn't miss too many games, right? Okay, Paul George came, DeAndre Jordan was there, right? But I didn't miss too many of those games. Keeping up with my Lakers, but I was also supporting the Clippers because Blake Griffin. I watched him grow as a player. It was awesome to watch, and those highlights. Now everybody's just somewhere else. OKC is decimated. Who knows what's going to be there? Golden State went and got Durant. Toronto. Okay, he won that. Now, Kawhi Leonard won in Toronto. You cannot blame him for coming home. And it's better for the landscape of the NBA that he's not going to the Lakers and is going to the Clippers to crack the Clipper curse. That is significant because the Clipper curse, they do have one. Let's make sure that's clear. Could have got very close with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. It just can't happen. And that Clipper curse always comes up. So I think, though, that the Clippers have reloaded to whereas even if Kawhi sits out a little bit or Paul George sits out a little bit, they will still be able to compete because they have pretty much the same team. They only got rid of, Gallinari and Alexander, right? Gilgis Alexander, who keep your eye on him, too. So, long story short, it's a lot of trading going on in the NBA. It irks me, but okay, it is some big stuff that's going on. And both teams in LA are going to compete on a very high level. But I think for most people watching this, it's like, well, duh. Doing sports talk worldwide. And I'm about to hear y'all.